Going all in on digital marketing for your business?
Struggling to gain traction or figure out where to begin?
Join me for professional insights into digital marketing and to get answers to real questions from real people about real issues related to promoting your business online. Social media, email marketing, newsletters, it can get overwhelming. As a digital marketing instructor for the Pennsylvania College of Art and Design and the owner of Headline Consultants, a digital marketing company here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, you can count on me to explain it all in a way that's easy to understand and makes sense.
This is a Candy Factory Mini.
Getting Noticed
with Justin Quinn.
Hi, welcome to Getting Noticed with me, Justin Quinn, and welcome to February 2021. After taking a brief hiatus in January, I'm back with lots of new insights and information for your digital marketing efforts. 2021 is shaping up to be an epic year for digital marketing, especially when it comes to social media. Whether it's epically good or epically bad remains to be seen. Today, I'm hoping to catch you up on what's going on with social media and businesses right now. As you are probably aware, social media is going through a major transition as it grapples with political issues on and off its platform. The bad news is that fewer and fewer people are starting to trust social media platforms in general due to how they're handling a lot of the issues surrounding freedom of speech, hate speech, censorship, and privacy. The good news for businesses, however, is that social media usage continues to rise unabated and stands at an all-time high. The big four, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter, don't seem to be going anywhere anytime soon. So it's important to maintain a presence on all of them. That means regular posting and engaging with fans and followers on the topics you are an expert on. Perhaps you've heard about the battle between Facebook and Apple over the new privacy and data collection restriction on Apple's new operating system, iOS 14. The new policy prompts people to choose whether they want to opt out of sharing their data with third-party platforms like Facebook. Facebook, of course, says these restrictions will make ads less relevant to consumers and hurt small businesses looking to connect to the audiences that are likely to purchase their products or services. I say it all the time. Two things can be true at the same time. On one hand, consumers should have the right to choose with whom they want to share their data and how much they want to share. Alternatively, ad targeting is an extremely efficient way to ensure people find the results they are looking for more easily and at the same time are not inundated with products and promotions that have no value or relevancy to them whatsoever. So what does this mean for businesses and advertisers on Facebook and Instagram? A lot, actually. But first, you may have noticed there's a little bit of snow on the ground. Well, I noticed because I was in the thick of it, desperately trying to shovel my way out of the house and into my office here at the Candy Factory. That's right, the Candy Factory, Lancaster's premier co-working facility, had its parking lot cleared early and was open for business at the usual time. And while that's great for people like me who depend on getting out of the house so they can get some work done in a distraction-free environment, what about people who can't get into the office, or need to quarantine, or don't need an office but do need some human connection to break up the monotony of remoting? Well, the Candy Factory has you covered. Not only do they offer virtual and social memberships, they also support those members with numerous virtual events throughout the week, from casual remote gatherings like coffee time and happy hours to professional opportunities like virtual networking and lunch and learns. So whether you need a physical location to get your work done or a social connection to keep from going nuts, head on over to coworkinginlancaster.com and learn more about everything the Candy Factory has to offer. That's coworkinginlancaster.com. Tell them Justin sent you. Okay, so what does this battle between Facebook and Apple mean for small and mid-sized businesses looking to grow through social media? Well, if your business relies on ad targeting on social media, and many businesses do these days, you could be witnessing an ad environment on the cusps of monumental change. The key performance indicators you've come to rely on for measurements of social media success and failure could become murkier and more difficult to discern. Ad delivery could become more costly as conversion benchmarks become harder and harder to hit. The truth is, though, that Facebook has already been weakening many of its targeting parameters since 2016. Just after the Cambridge Analytica scandal broke, Facebook began eliminating thousands of targeting markers every year for general advertisers. And it has become worse for businesses running ads in special categories like housing, credit, employment, and politics. The restrictions Facebook has put on them is significant. Targeting by age or gender or even zip codes are no longer options. While the reasons for these restrictions are obvious, their unintended consequences can be rather troubling for their advertisers. Imagine if you're a retirement community that wants to advertise your new residences, but can't target your ads to specific age groups because of the restrictions. Not only are you not reaching your target audience, you're also annoying people who have no interest in retirement at the moment. So what's a business to do? Well, the most important thing is to not stop running ads. I realize this seems counterintuitive, but for the time being, targeting, even weak targeting, is better than nothing. While many may not trust big tech at the moment, the social media giants still have shareholders to please and bottom lines to make. Until your ads start to tank or the costs begin to climb through the roof, stay the course and hope the people managing these platforms find the right solutions. Another major issue that has been contributing to business uncertainty across social media is big tech's recent ousting and deplatforming of slews of people on the political right. Regardless of whether you agree or disagree with these decisions, the trend has given rise to a number of lesser-known social media platforms like MeWe, Gab, and until recently, Parler. Parler, a social media platform that catered to the political right, is no longer available as a platform because it was completely gutted last month after the U.S. Capitol riots. Every major social media company from Facebook to Snapchat removed Parler's accounts from their platforms, and Amazon even went as far as shutting down its servers, which essentially killed it. The claims from big tech were that the rioters organized exclusively on Parler, which is why they took such swift and unprecedented actions. In the following days and weeks, however, stories began to emerge in the Washington Post and USA Today, which showed Facebook and Twitter were also used extensively by insurrectionists, and that their platforms played roles that may have even been more significant than the one Parler played. Nearly a month later, Parler is the only one of these social media channels that remains deplatformed. While these private companies can do whatever they like, there are those across the political spectrum, Republicans and Democrats, conservatives and liberals, who worry about the precedents being set as it relates to free speech. For business owners, this is particularly worrisome because at some point there may come a day when just merely being on one platform or another is going to be enough to send a message about where you or your company stand politically, regardless of whether that message is true and accurate or not. Banning users and deplatforming businesses is a major problem because of the incredibly rapid pace at which social media evolves. Complex social issues that have traditionally been hashed out in quieter environments with leveler heads after plenty of forethought, debate, and discussion are now being dealt with publicly on social media, complete with hot takes, snark, and sarcasm, leaving very little time or appetite for any sort of measured deliberation or constructive dialogue. Whether you think big tech's crackdown is an overreach or long overdue, the reality facing the majority of small and mid-sized businesses caught up in the froth of these issues is much less opinion-oriented and much more pragmatic. The sad truth is, regardless of where their owners or managers stand politically, businesses often have their own identities and are now getting pulled into the fray, finding it impossible to be neutral on some of the most polarizing issues of our time. This has left most businesses with two uncomfortable options. The first is to throw caution to the wind, take a stand, and risk alienating or marginalizing half of your audience. The other is to stay quiet, ignore the major controversies, and risk alienating or marginalizing half of your audience. Now, some might say that regardless of the consequences, this explosive issue of the day, whatever it may be, is too important not to take a stand. These people might say that businesses need to show leadership and that cultural and social issues help consumers make informed decisions about the companies whom they wish to patronize. The trouble with this argument is that at some point, these folks have to wonder when the mysterious forces within social media will change their minds suddenly and start canceling them. Others might say that remaining quiet on these broad wedge issues is the better course of action because it keeps your business off the cancel list and doesn't come back to bite you in the future. Never try, never fail, as they say. The problem with this option is that some might read your silence as complicity with the countervailing narrative of the moment, or call for your cancellation because you're not doing enough to bring about the change they want to see. So, what's the answer then? Well, the good news is that the polarization of our culture hasn't done significant damage to the majority of businesses on social media. Yet. But you need to keep in mind what I said earlier. Social media is constantly evolving and changing, which means it's important to get a feel for what your target audience expects you to do. After all, you know your audience better than just about anybody. So if you believe your people need to hear from you, take the risk. If you believe your audience is more interested in your product or service than in your opinions, focus your promotions in that direction. I wish there were easier answers here, but there aren't. Marketing on social media in 2021 is more complex than ever, even more complex than social media marketing in 2020. It's a constant game of waiting for the next shoe to drop. The question is, will it drop on you? That's all the time we have for today. If you have questions about marketing your business on social media or anywhere else online, Headline Consultants is here to help. Visit us at headlineconsultants.com and let us help you get your business noticed. Getting Noticed is part of the Candy Factory mini-series and is a proud member of the Candy Factory Collective. You can find the show streaming on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and LinkedIn, and you can subscribe to the audio version anywhere you get your podcasts.
You can check out Justin's classes at Pennsylvania College of Art and Design. That's PCA&D.edu. And learn more about Headline Consultants at headlineconsultants.com.
Getting Noticed is produced by the Candy Factory Collective at the Candy Factory Coworking Campus in Lancaster, PA. The show is produced by Jason Mundok with production support by Anna Tran. Administrative support by Ann Kirby, Arianna Henderson, and Christian Martzel. Notes and links can be found on the show post at our website, candyfactorycollective.com.
Candy Factory.
Collective.